definitely defined 2011 with Takeoff, man.
Definitely, Takeoff. It done that was my breakthrough track, man. Even though it's just an instrumental, as a producer, that was my breakthrough track. So obviously done a lot last year. Still getting played up until now, so it's doing well, man.
And you know, like it getting used on the Lord of the Mics, you know, featuring all of the MCs, definitely kind of took it to another level as well.
Yeah, man. Obviously, big up, shout out to Jammer. He obviously reached out to me when he heard the tune. From there, obviously, kind of, because the tune was out from before, kind of brought the buzz back again, bringing it out with Lord of the Mics. So I think that's why it's kind of helped it get played up until now, still getting played in raves and radio and everything. People are still enjoying it, do you know what I'm saying?
So for those that don't know, man, break down like the history, Faze Miyake's musical history, you know, your connections with Family Tree, Murky Ace and whatnot, man. Give us a history of Faze Miyake.
History, to be honest, as a producer, I haven't really been producing properly for a very long time. Like, when I just left school, I got a copy of Fruity Loops off one of my friends, same way everyone else kind of does. And obviously from then I was just mucking around trying to make beats and everything. I didn't take it too seriously them times. And then obviously I've known Murky Ace and everyone for quite a while from before. And then I sent him a couple tunes. This is like 2010. Made couple tunes with him, ended up doing nearly half of his mixtape, his first mixtape, and then obviously it kind of went from there, man. Like, that's just the team now, so it's just Family Tree and the labels Woofer Music.
And you know, man, 2012, a lot of people are saying that Grime's kind of coming back, man, off the back of Lord of the Mics, the clashing, and it's been quiet, you know what I mean, like it's been very underground. What are you forecasting for 2012 for the grime scene, man?
I think the scene's healthy right now, man. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of like new producers, including me, coming through, do you know what I'm saying? So like, I think the scene's healthy. Like, there's a lot more people kind of seeing that it's, because where the rap thing came through, it's like it didn't really die out, but a lot of people stopped paying attention to it. But now I think it's starting to come back now with the help of things like Lord of the Mics and everything else that's coming out. It's kind of bringing back the buzz again to everyone who listened to it from back in the day as well, do you know what I'm saying?
For a bit, man, it was like, oh, Grime's dead, you know what I mean, it's death of Grime, blah blah blah. But you know, something that's definitely had like a negative impact on the grime scene has been a lot of the MCs that have been signed from the grime scene and have then turned around and said that they're not from the grime scene, man. Most recently, Doc Rotten had an interview with a big newspaper and kind of denounced the grime scene and his attachment to it and him being a grime MC and whatnot, man. How does Faze Miyake feel about that?
I don't know. I think everyone's obviously got their own path, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously the people that have got signed, I still see it as a good thing because they've come from our scene and their talent's been noticed from our scene, do you know what I'm saying? So them even denying that they've come from grime or anything shouldn't really make a difference to the scene anyway, because if they've come from that and their talent's been noticed from that, then obviously more of it can come from the grime scene, do you know what I'm saying? So obviously I can't really comment on what they have to say about it too much, but that's just what I think, man.
Your production definitely has a big hip-hop influence. Would you say that's fair to say?
Yeah, definitely, man. Obviously, to be honest, it's like that's what I enjoy making and I'm comfortable making, and I listen to it more than anything else, do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of got a big influence on me. So definitely, yeah. So
hip-hop has been like a big influence in your life or music?
I wouldn't say, because you know what it was like when I was younger, I was just, the first proper music I listened to and took interest in was garage, innit? And that was because of like older people around me listening to garage, like in my family as well. And even before that, like there was jungle and everything. Like a lot of people in my family, that they like music as well. Like they weren't really doing music or anything, but they just liked music, you know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of music around me growing up. And obviously the first proper like music I took interest in was garage. And then after that, it was like grime was coming through when I was just in school. This was like year 7, year 8. Like Dizzy Rascal, I Love You, just smashing up everywhere. More Fire Crew, I was out, like all them things I was growing up on. But then gradually it's like, obviously I started listening to more things. I was listening to like rap them times as well, like people like Tupac and Biggie and everyone. But I wasn't into it as much as I am now. Do you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, because I listen to it so much and I've only just started producing properly for the past like 2 years or a year and a half, it's like it's got a major influence on me. Do you know what I'm saying?
So, you know, you've said that you use the Fruity Loops to produce, and sometimes the Fruity Loops is, you know what I mean, really frowned upon. Like, oh man, he uses Fruity Loops.
Yeah,
it's not that serious.
It's looked at like a amateur tool. Do you know what I'm saying?
But there's a lot of big producers that actually use the Fruity Loops. Like, how does the production like session go down with Faze Miyake when you're in the room, like you're producing? How does it go down?
Well, I don't even use Fruity Loops anymore. I actually use Logic Pro. So obviously it's a different thing. I still do use Fruity Loops every now and then, but with my own setup I don't. So when I'm with someone else or they use Fruity Loops and I'm kind of making beats with someone else, then I will still use it. But when it's me, it's just Logic Pro, man.
So how does it usually go down, man? Do you need something to kind of kick off the session? Does it just come from, do you just wake up in the morning and make a beat, or do you need to be in the mood? Does there need to be something that inspires the beat making?
I definitely say I'd have to be in the zone somehow. Like I'd have to like wake up one day and be like, yeah, I want to make a beat today. But I don't see it as when I make beats, it's not like cause I'm not too sure about other producers, but I think some producers might be like, they'll think about the beat before they've made it. Do you know what I'm saying? With me, it's like I'll just sit down and say, yeah, I want to make a beat today, and then I'll just go with the flow, like whatever comes out of my head naturally, and obviously onto the software. That's just what happens, man. I just enjoy myself. Do you know what I'm saying?
This might be a funny question, but like some producers have said how they make beats better in the dark as opposed to the daylight with the curtains open. They can't do it in the daylight. Like, what's it like?
I know what you mean, man. Like when I'm making beats, sometimes it's like it's mad. Like sometimes, obviously, when it's night, like if I started a beat in the day and I'm still going on up until like night time, I'll just forget to even turn the lights on. I'll just be in the zone. You know what I'm saying? I know what you mean by that still. Yeah, man.